took them off, we're gonna look at our legs here. This is where we're, hey, get your face out of there. This right here is gonna cause a little bit of a wear spot. And I think that is right where there's a little lip in here in the foam. And so I don't know if it just needs glued down a little bit better, or with time it'll compress, which is probably what it'll be. And then I think it'll be fine. It's just a little snug. Once the foam gets less firm, it'll squish out to form to his leg a little bit, and I think that'll be okay. And then I don't see anything else where his skin is red or the fur is ruffled at all. Literally just that one little spot. We're gonna look at the back side. I don't see anything. Oh, maybe a tiny bit right here, but I think that's actually a scar from where one of his previous prosthetics rubbed on him a little bit, because it's not red and there's some scarring in there. So that one I don't think is a problem. I think this is the only spot we're gonna have to keep an eye on. And then this one was a little bit harder to get on. You have to really push his toe down into the little hole that's down in there. And so you kind of have to go in at this angle and then rotate it and slide it up. But I do think I slid it up a little too far. I think we should ask the company about where they wanted it to sit, because I kept trying to get it about here, but I think maybe it's supposed to sit here and then it'll stay a little bit better and rotate a little less. I think up a little further, this piece here, this edge here gets into his armpit a little bit and was a little snug on that inside. So I think if it slides down just a little bit more, it'll fit a little bit snugger and a little bit better. But it rotated well with him. I really think most of it is just he needs to get used to wearing them. Spot wise on this arm, there's a little bit right here where the fur is a little ruffled, but that again doesn't surprise me because he's so bony and so awkward shaped right here. He doesn't have the smoother transitions that this one has, so we'll have to keep an eye on this, but I think that it will be fine once the foam is kind of worn in. I know you don't like having your feeties touched. Let me check the bottom. Don't see anything that's not normally there. Good boy. So the only, the biggest concern I actually have is pretty minor. When he walks, he has them here, but he tends to hold this foot this direction, so his left foot tilts in. So when he walks, this one kind of tends to want to bump into this one, and he kind of stumbles over himself a little bit. So he just needs to get used to how wide these new bases are. But I think this new wide base takes off a lot of the pressure that he was having on the old ones. They were too thin and too narrow, and so it was putting too much pressure up here. This spreads out the load quite a bit more, and they're a little bit wider than the last ones as well. So they're a little bulky, so he's gonna have to get used to holding his legs a little further apart so he doesn't stumble, but these are significant improvements.